Hello everyone, welcome to Grounded Roots Healing. I am still Jason. So I believe I will talk about shape-shifting in this video. It's a really interesting topic. Before I do, I want to do a little bit of a discussion about where are our ancestors? Where are our spirit guides? And by where, I mean energetically, because there is no where. Okay, so everything is vibrational energy vibrating at a frequency. Everything physical, so-called physical. And it's all in this dimensional plane that we're existing in right now, which is the bottom three bands of frequency banded together to have the emergent properties of what we call matter. So we can have these dreams, these plays, these movies on this realm. And the other beings and entities around us, the only reason you can't see them all the time is that your frequency is too low. Now that means your frequency, your energy is vibrating at a specific speed. If you increase that speed of vibration fast enough, it becomes invisible to the human eye. This happens all the time. There's millions of detectable frequencies of energy that we can use detectors to detect, but our human senses cannot pick up. It's quite obvious. There's even animals that can see it that we can't see. So it's like, a good analogy is always the best way to go with this. And I heard one today that I really liked. It was like a fan. So the fan is, and this 3D world is stationary. It's not rotating at all. And each blade of the fan, say a 3-bladed fan, is one of the frequencies in the third dimension. When you start spinning the fan fast enough, eventually you don't see the blades anymore. This is equivalent to what's happening. So they're always there. They're right next to you. They're just vibrating so fast that you cannot see them. Okay, so in shamanism, we're trying to communicate with our ancestors. And the only way to do that is to raise your frequency. You need to raise your frequency up, and your ancestors, spirit guides, anyone that you want to communicate has to drop theirs down. And then you meet in the middle somewhere. Now that is essentially shamanism. This is how you're communicating. Mediumship, all of this. You get into a meditative state to raise your vibration. Get in the flow state, the theta state. There's a million ways to describe it. So before you're going to start a shamanic journey or do anything, you'd be in your best interest to get your vibration as high as possible. Now, your vibration is higher when you're happy, when you're joyous for life. So what makes you happy and have joy for life? Is it walking in nature? Is it singing? Is it a million things? Whatever makes you happy is going to help. So before I come and do these videos, I often sing as loud as possible to whatever song makes me happy. And often seems to be Holly Holy by Neil Diamond, which I put on right before I came here, and I sing it really loud to the point where my throat hurts, but it makes me feel good. That was music that my father used to play when I was a little kid, and on a record player, and it was a fond memory that I have, and I do still enjoy that music. Music always makes me happy. And other ways to do this are doing things like consuming cacao. Cacao will raise your vibration. If you get in a meditative state, cacao ceremony is what? You're taking cacao and then doing sound bowls and meditating and a million things, not a million, but a lot of things in order to raise your vibration. So in that state, when you take the cacao and you open your heart, this is what you're doing. So pick your poison. If you want to communicate, do some of this stuff. So that's what I do. I've ordered 5 kilograms of cacao, ceremonial cacao, grade cacao, and we'll probably be drinking that every day because it definitely grounds you and it definitely raises your vibration. So it's going to be something you should, if you want to communicate, why not drink a cup of it? It's going to help. It's going to put you in a better state. I also go into nature all the time. All right, so things like crystals, things like this. This is my new pendant that I bought. It's not an Ankh, it's an Atlantean cross, which is beautiful, made from sterling silver, and I can feel the energy off this thing. I've been playing with it all day. It's impressive, and I don't quite understand what the purpose of it is yet, but I was compelled to order one, and like I've said before, I was a high priest in Atlantis. I have memories of it, so probably has something to do with that, and it should be a good part of the movie. So I think that's where was I going? Yes, right, raise your vibration so you can more likely communicate with your spirit guides, your ancestors, Mother Earth, archangels, whatever you want. Be the shaman. So before I started learning about any of this stuff, one night I spontaneously had what would be referred to as lucid dream. Now this will get to the shape-shifting part of this. So in this lucid dream, which by definition in a lucid dream you're in full control of what you're doing and you can direct it, I was sitting in the nighttime on looked like stadium stairs with maybe a ball court in the middle. There was a set of stadium stairs on one side and on the other, and we were sitting on the top left side of it. There was a moon, a big moon, like a full moon out. On the opposing side I could see everything, but it was definitely nighttime. And there was another set of stairs there, and then there was like doors at ground level on the base of these stadium stairs, going down into look like caverns or underground passageways. And I was sitting with another shaman, and I remember his face. I was speaking with him. I don't remember all the details of the story or what we were talking about. And at the end of this alleyway there was a pyramid. This was a Mayan pyramid. This was a Mayan shaman. I knew it instinctively. And I mean, South American, let's say. The Aztec could have been Peruvian even. Inca. But the history of that place is a lot older than people think. So during this lucid dream, which was a shamanic journey, the shaman told me, well, what I think I said something like, I really love to be able to fly. And he's like, well, just go do it. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, just fly. So I walked over to the edge of the thing and I jumped and I morphed into a bat. And I flew around with other bats playing and changing positions and steering the way that I was flying, actively able to do it. It was the most amazing experience I've ever had. You could shift left, right, back, forth, up, down so fast as a bat that it was amazing. And I could tell that I was playing with the other bats. Now, I don't know if the other bats were actually bats or other people flying around as bats, but irrelevant. I was controlling the dream because that's a shamanic journey, and that is shapeshifting. I shifted my form into another animal spirit. And then that's what shapeshifting is. But it's also expressed in this 3D world. So a lot of people who find themselves mimicking people, I don't know if you've ever done this, but I do it, made fun of so much for it, is if I'm speaking to someone else who has an accent, I'll start mimicking their accent and I'll start sounding like them. And I often find it extremely easy to make friends with people of other cultures because I can understand them very quickly. I can understand I see the subtleties of their behavior and I mimic it, I guess. And apparently this is part of shapeshifting in the 3D. It's an instinctive thing that we do because when we were evolving on this planet as a human being, the body-mind complex, it was the way that we communicated. So if you were really good at that, that's what you were doing. And you're feeling the other person's energy, which I can do exceedingly well. So if you're matching their energy, you naturally start to match their vibration, you naturally start to match their behavior as well. So it's a really interesting experience. I'm starting to see how this is coming out in my everyday life and how I have been doing shamanistic things since I was a little kid. I just didn't know what they were. I didn't know what they were called. And it's starting to become apparent to me that that's obviously the path forward for me. I mean, I was handed a book about shamanism by the universe. You know, I didn't leave there with any other books. It was the only book. I picked it out of a book of hundreds sitting there. It drew my eye. I immediately bought it and left with it. And then I didn't stop reading it. And it is the definition of shamanism. So I think this path is the direction I'm going. And I've recently learned about shape-shifting, like I said. Now I'm going to do a shamanic journey. I'm going to try to do it myself. There's a sort of a guided meditation by my teacher online, and I'm going to attempt it and see if I can replicate this again. See if I can start getting some kind of control over how and when this stuff happens to me. Because it's been kind of just random. Now, I know I'm never going to have real control, but as I understand this better, it's the universe. The play is going to allow me to move up higher in the levels. And it's going to happen when it's going to happen. But I do know that I need to remember this stuff in order for it to be possible for me to experience. And I guess I'm just excited about seeing more of this stuff. Because being able to fly, like really fly, is possible. Not in the 3D yet, but in the astral, it's absolutely possible, and it is the most exhilarating thing I could ever imagine. yeah, so more of that would be pretty cool. And, you know, I'm only into the second shamanic journey. I think there's 10 of them on this course. And I'm doing Sarah Hall's course, which has been amazing. And pretty soon we'll be doing a live guided shamanic journey with her, which I'm sure I will drink my cacao and I will do meditation before so that I can go as deeply as possible. But I think that's where I'll leave it for today. So I've been shape-shifting my whole life and I just didn't know it. And I think I will continue to learn about this. Not I think, I know it. So as I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow.